Yeah, I was on mute. Sorry about that. I'm trying to figure out why I can't pull up NCEW. It is raging right now. Um, and I'm a little confused. That would have been a good one to live stream, but for whatever reason, it's not pulling up. But anyways, I'll go over the plays I've already played this morning. Been a pretty good morning, but I'm a little confused why um, it's not showing this play. In trading view. Maybe once I sign into TradeZero, it'll show the positions I'm in. Anyways, you're in TOVX right now. Did anybody else play NCEW on that insane move that just happened on it? I got in it. Um, and again, probably got in a little bit too early, but it gave back most of its gains. But as you can see, I'm up $1,200 on the day already, so I'm pretty excited about that, especially for sleeping in today. Is there a way to see which positions I'm in? Oh, here you go. Yeah, no, good alert from Martin this morning on. I'm just going to move on from this one so I can figure out how to pull it up. But good alert today from Martin on FRGT. I was in it, and as soon as I got in it, I saw Martin post about it. We actually had about the same average. I think our average was 187, I believe. 186, 187. Fell below VWAP, never returned. MEGL, similar story. It hasn't fallen as much. This was one of my alerts. Chinese pump stock with no news. It'll probably come down to the 200, but I took right before this call started, right before 7, I took all my profits just because at 7 I thought it might could rally again. And let me, I'm reading the comments, sorry. I don't like Chinese Hong Kong tickers and stay away from them, my friend. I love anything that pumps without news. So this one is a Chinese pump, and FRGT had some news a few days ago that they did some crypto news, and as you can see, it didn't hold its gains, and it had a little pop today. Maybe there's some more news that came out, not sure, but rode this one this morning. If anything pops between 4 to 6:59, that's honestly when I should be live streaming because those are the most fruitful plays. The ones that pop during 7 to 9:30 are usually PR related, and they can hold their gains a lot longer. Um, so the 7 to 9:30 is usually when I'm live streaming, but I wish I could pull up this NCEW. Man, it had a crazy move this morning. I'm so confused why it's not pulling up on here. I'm gonna pull up Webull and see if I can get them to show it. But I'd like to go over that play too, because that's a crazy. It's been a crazy play this morning. And TOV, I just completely ignored this one, TOVX. I'm not really sure why. Probably because I was trying to live stream. At some point, I'm going to enter this one. This might actually not be a terrible spot to start looking at a starter. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to get this one pulled up on my phone, figure out where I want to enter. Sub 70. This 250 level might be tough for it to break. So I'm gonna just get my starter there while I look for my game plan with this one. If it doesn't get up there, it's not the end of the world. But I don't want to jump in too early. So I got, I'm gonna put 500 shares at 248. If it falls below VWAP, I might consider this one as well. I might actually do 245. Anyways, and I'm gonna pull up NCEW on Webull. Feels like it's been a crazy morning. Get filled, got filled. Let's go. So I got my entry while I decide what else I want to do. Sorry, I'm not looking at the chat. If y'all been talking, I'm trying to pull up NCEW. Well, Weeble's giving me a hard time right now, so I will move on from that for right now. But anyways, yeah, it's been a exciting morning so far. Very exciting morning. Now I feel like I closed out of my my YouTube studio account. I'm a mess this morning. Okay, got it back. Anyways, so yeah, so up about 1,400 on the day so far, so I really cannot complain. It's been a pretty exciting pre-market. Let's see where the comments are. Good morning. Looks like you're in replay mode in trading view. Oh, am I? Wow. Wow, wow. That was the issue. Jeez. Thank you for, I feel like a dummy now, but glad it was something simple. But yeah, look at this move this morning. And I'm only in 200 shares now because I've already um, closed out of most of them. Um, let's go. Like this is a beautiful pop. I wish I would have held. Again, that's the story of my life is closing out too early, but still made some money on this one. Obviously, I didn't predict it to go from 220 to $7 or 740, so I did start scaling in around 5. So then when I finally got in the profit zone, I started taking profits just in case I needed to. Just in case it popped again, I could re-enter and get my average a little bit higher. But this one played out beautifully, beautifully, gorgeous. So, but good stuff so far. Up 1400 FRGT. I don't know why it's not showing my entries and exits on this one. I think it should after this. Connection. But yeah, we had some okay, here you can see caught it on this pop. Sold out of a lot of the position here and then sold out my final position at the 200 moving average. MEGL. Let me connect it to TradingView. Similar story here. And I still have some entries here if it wants to pop up there, but caught it on the way down. Should have held it to the 200 moving average, but this one was holding its gains a little bit more. So once it finally made a move down to 180, I only trimmed a couple hundred positions here and then the rest of it around 180. But it'll probably come down to the 200 moving average as well. So good stuff so far. Can't complain. Just got to decide where I want to take profit with. Like I said, I'm only in 200 shares now. Good morning, Mike. Saw you join the circle group last night. I appreciate you hopping on. Yeah, no, good morning so far. I'll probably just hold on to this one just let it keep falling. I'm not even sure what the news was on this one. Collaboration aims to reduce last mile delivery costs and labor shortage. Okay, that was an excessive move for that, but yeah, good plays today. I'm in TOVX, small starter position, 500 shares. If it gets back up to this 280, 290 range, I'll look to re-enter. Should have got more locates already because I imagine they're probably going to be pricey at this point. But let me see. And sorry for the chaotic morning so far. I will start reviewing some stuff, a little more detailed game plans, what went right yesterday. Ended the day with about a $2,400 day, I believe. It felt like I should have made more money with how crazy the day went, but I didn't time some of my entries the best, so some of that's on me. It had to the place I was in had to fall a decent amount before I was in my profit zones, but that's how it is sometimes. And that's the beautiful thing about shorting. You don't have to time the entry perfect. If you give it time for it to play out, as long as it doesn't, show you extreme bullish signs to get out. You can let them play because they usually come back to you. Come back to where you started. So I'm going to put an entry about 285 for 500 more shares. If it tries to test the high of the day, the pre-market high. And until then, I'm just going to ride my 500 shares. I did. I was hoping nobody would bring up the Kimfo stuff. It is. I unlinked it, and between everyone on this group, I hope Kimfo isn't on this live. I'm playing hardball with them. There's a reason why. I don't want to elaborate too much on it, but between the interview and some data points being inaccurate, I want it to get addressed. So, but between us and everyone on this group, probably by the end of the week, I'll be back on it. But I don't want them to know that. I'm trying to play a little bit of hardball with them. There's a reason behind it. I don't want to elaborate on it too much, but I'll be back on it probably by Friday. Or how about this? I'll plan to be back on it on Friday just because I market myself as a transparent trader. So, but there's some parts to an agreement that didn't play out, and there were some data points that were inaccurate, and I wanted them to fix that. And I sent them TradeZero logs 2 weeks ago, and they still haven't addressed it. So on Monday, I canceled my pro whatever package where you pay and unlinked my account to kind of send the message that I wasn't going to use it anymore. But like I said, hopefully nobody's on this call from there because I already told my game plan. Regardless if they fix it or not, I'm going to get back on it. Because unless there's something else I can use that shows trades. But anyways, sorry for the long ramble there. If this falls below VWAP, might be tempted to add to it. If the 5-minute candle closes below it, it's looking like it's respecting the VWAP for the most part. As you can see here, TPUS is coming back. That would be interesting. That one had a lot of range, I believe. Let's see. Where's a good entry level for this one? Carlos, where are you looking to re-enter at? That's a nice little pop. Even here, a little starter position wouldn't be too bad. Only thing about this one that makes me nervous is it does have a lot of range. So I might not consider re-entering. Maybe this little area right here. What is this? About 630. You can see there's some support right here. So maybe around that level, I'd be interested. Then there's a little bit of support here around 692, and then obviously 9. But yeah, I'll keep this one on my radar because there's a lot more for it to give back, as you can see. But even this move's not bad. It might, if you get an entry here, it might not be terrible. But the one thing that makes me nervous about this one is, as we saw, this one was Monday, right? It has a ton of range on it. So it could get back up there, flirt with those highs. Highly doubt it, but worst case scenario, it could. Yeah, so that's how the morning went so far. Yeah, TOVX. What do you mean by trash, Martin? It's their cash position. I cannot put info, but on, let's see. The company has 4 months left of cash. Yeah. Not surprised. I played this one a few times in the past. It can run, but Martin, are you going to add for this VWAP fail? Yeah, I love Dilution Tracker, but it is very pricey, and I know that's why I don't like push it a lot in this on my lives. Maybe I should work on getting an affiliate link with them, a discount, because I think it's like 600 a year, which is again not that far off from some of these trading prices for like my trade ideas, my alerts. It's $127 a month, so it's actually way more than that, but um, than $600 a year. But regardless, it's a little pricey. But the free version of Dilution Tracker still tells you their cash position and institutional ownership, and that's really all I need. If you want to get nitty gritty and look at their current offerings, which is valuable, I'm not saying it's not, they have that info for the paid membership because it is good information. Because even like, what was it yesterday? One of the plays from yesterday or Monday, they had warrants at $1.20 and it pumped all the way to $1.19, failed, and then after hours you could tell it was getting heavily manipulated to get over $1.20. And I think that was to sell some of those warrants. And then as soon as it did, it fell back down and kind of died off. So TOV X did not close under VWAP. So if you're new to my channel, I play mostly 3 different styles, or 3 different ways I do my entries. So the first one is like NCEW. I'm a little crazy. I will enter on the initial pop because a lot of times they'll do exactly this, give it all back. I'm only in 200 shares, but I was actually in 1,200 shares. So I don't, it's, these arrows are a little kind of, oh, actually I went long on this first. That's right. I went long on this first, closed it, and then which is rare. I'm not even going to elaborate on why I went long. So I rarely go long, but when it got up above 5, I started entering my short positions, and it fell down. It did go up to 7, made me a little nervous because I didn't know where the top was. My strategy is scaling in these. Can't go too heavy unless there's like a key level. For example, what I mean by key level is like if, for example, on Wednesday, 30th of April, it made it all the way up to $7.40, and then it went down. That's the key level that I could enter a little bit heavier, believing that it's not going to break past that. Then when it breaks past that, obviously stop out, get out, or lower my size. But this didn't have that. I didn't know where these key levels were. So I slowly scaled in above 5. And that's my first type of play. It is very high risk, but it is very rewarding, as you can see. The second way I trade is, or my second entry is when they fail VWAP. If it's a quote unquote trash company, meaning poor cash position, high burn rate, low institutional ownership, history of dilution, can't hold its gains, these are prime candidate for the VWAP fade, which we got both with this one. So when it falls below VWAP, the 5-minute candle closes below VWAP, there is a very good chance it keeps doing this. It gives back its gains. And then the other main play I do is pre-market or entry. I keep saying play. Entry that I do is when they test highs. So for example, I don't really have any pulled up right now, but if this TOVX was to shoot up to 285-ish, that's why I have a 500 entry right here. A lot of times when it tests the previous high of the day, pre-market high, and this is my favorite when market opens because they usually do test the pre-market high. I'll put an entry right before it gets to the pre-market high, and often it will fail and you'll have a really good entry. And you have a little bit of a safety net too, because if it doesn't fail and it breaks through and makes a new high, you can make a relatively quick decision to get out and not take too big of a loss. But again, these are my entries. I can't give financial advice, can't give recommendation on how to play these, but I did want to give a recap of what I look for in entries. So hope that makes sense. But as of right now, I am keeping an eye. It's crazy. For only 200 shares, this one's up $373. And this one pumped without any news, I don't think. Or no, it was very mediocre news. Yeah. Those are my favorite. Or second favorite. My favorite is MEGL that pumped with no news. And then when stocks overreact for news, it's really not that great. Those are great too, of course. But up about $1,500 on the day. Yeah, I could make a career from the 4 a.m. plays. You're 100% right. And I think that's, you're Alex, right? Yeah. I remember your from your email. But yeah, they are, the thing is, the people that live in a different time zone, I have a lot of international people follow me or in the circle group. If you have a time zone where the 4 a.m. Is the 4 a.m. Eastern, if you're in a time zone where it's not actually 4 a.m., like it's in the middle of the day, afternoon, whatever, I would always be up during that time. The problem with me is I do real estate, I run dispensaries, and I've treated trading as kind of a side hustle for a very long time, which I'm trying to prioritize more. And I'm a night owl, so like it's not uncommon for me to stay up past 12 o'clock like every night. Like it's not like that's an occasional occurrence. Like I'm up after 12 o'clock every single night. Sometimes 1, 2 o'clock. So it's really hard for me to get up at 4 a.m. for those plays. But I'm slowly adjusting my schedule now where I'm starting to try to go to bed a little bit earlier so I can get up. And I did get up today, went back to sleep, but I did get up to play this pop for MEGL and this pop for FRGT. And to your point, Alex, the 4 to 6:59 a.m. plays, so the pre-market, they rarely ever hold their gains. The problem with the time during when I live stream, this is actually my 7 to 9:30 is actually my least profitable time of trading. 4 to 6:59 is one of my best, and intraday is my best. It's my number one. I made the most money in intraday, the second most money in the quote unquote pre-market, the 4 to 6:59. Third is after hours, and fourth is actually that 7 to 9:30 a.m. time frame. I got AI to like analyze some of my trades about when my entries are the best, and actually I was a negative during this time frame for the vast majority of the year so far, because sometimes when these pop, they do get out of control because the 7 to 9:30 pops are all related to news. So you see how BS news can pump like this one. So just imagine if I would have got in too early at 4, I could have really taken a pretty bad loss. So this is the most convenient time for me to live stream and trade, but and it's still, there's a lot of money to be made from 7 to 9:30, don't get me wrong, but I'm starting to learn that not to chase too much of the pops during this time frame and more to wait for the VWAP fades, because the reason why I was red during this time frame for a little bit was because some of the pops got nasty. So some of the PRs that dropped, they raged pretty hard. So TOVX is looking like it might get up to test those highs. Let's see. I had a starter position at 245 just to see if it could break through 250 because it kept wicking a little above it. It looks like it might. Look, I've been talking a lot this morning. Apologies. But to your point, Alex, yes. The 4 a.m. to 6:59 a.m. plays their money because they usually always give it back. When I say usually, like I back tested it, it's like 90+%. The ones that pop because they're not related to like news. They're usually like Discord pumps or something, but something that's not sustainable to hold the gains. So I'm gonna pay the most attention to TOVX right now. It's wild. I'm up $500, only 200 shares with this one. I got rid of about 1,000 shares on this move. Probably should have held on to it, but all good. Can't complain with gains. Up about 1,500 on the day, so it's not a bad spot to be at 743. And just so everybody knows, I live stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube going forward, free to the public. And then Circle Group, I live stream Tuesday and Thursday. That's exclusively for Circle members. So my Circle Group is free, so if you want all 5 days of streaming, you can join it. And it might not be free forever. So, and it's not that I really want to make more money that route. It's more that I really like what we've created in our Circle Group. It's super supportive. We got great member alerts. There's no trolls. It's just a nice little community. Better than I expected, let's say that. And we have some seasoned traders in there that know shorting very well. So I don't really want the dynamic to change. So I might put a price tag to entry to get in at some point just to limit the amount of people that join so the dynamic doesn't change. Because there's been some studies that when people pay for a group, they actually enjoy it better, participate more, but it's been free and we've had a lot of great participation. So I'm glad I started it this way because we have some great people in the community. And a lot of y'all are on right now. See a few of y'all's name, or most of y'all, I think. Actually, the entire chat. I was looking through the member alerts from yesterday and the day before, and I should figure out a way to screen share some of those because it was like 100%. Y'all's alerts were like none of them missed. It was pretty impressive for like over 2 days, 2 or 3 days. Like all the member alerts were money. If you would have entered at those alerts, you would have been profitable. So thank y'all for great alerts. And I actually made LX. I'm gonna pull this one up. This one helped the P&L yesterday. I didn't think I was gonna break over 2K yesterday. And I think it was Lena. She posted this one after hours. Again, I've already seen the comments. I get it. Some of y'all don't like Chinese pumps. That's fine. If you're not confident you're gonna be able to get out or be able to control your risk tolerance, and then please stay away from them. But I love them because they do stuff like this. They pump. They're easy to pump. A lot of discords will manipulate these stocks too because they're as you can see throughout the day, low volume. These are easy to pump because there's not a lot of liquidity. And Lena posted in the members group that this one was pumping, got in and wrote it down and ended up making close to 600 on that one, which pushed me over the 2K yesterday. So Lena, if you're on, appreciate that alert. It's kind of like the icing on the cake yesterday. I needed an easy win after FOXO, which I'll review here shortly. It was stressing all of us out a little bit yesterday. Is this the time TOVX fails? Let's see. Or I shouldn't say fail, but falls below VWAP. Same, Steven. That's the story of most of my life. Woke up late
PHIO.
and missed all the early morning spikes, but I caught them this morning. Some of them. PHIO is popping right now. It's up about 40%. I'm getting locates on it as I speak. So I'll pull it up on the trading view in just a second, but I'm trying to get my locates on it. So, and I do trade mobile. Most of y'all know that, but if you don't, that's why I'm not doing it directly on TradingView. I do TradingView just for visibility for y'all. I like trading on my phone because that's how I started, so I'm kind of biased. So let me pull up PHIO. So I'm in this one now. I entered at 245. And this might be good timing with TOVX. If this catches fire, it could pull some of the tension away from TOVX because it does look it's about to rage. So I got entry at 245. I'm about to enter some more at 295. If it gets up there. Well, I entered at 248, I mean. I'm in 400 shares. Not really. That'll give me time to look at the news. I'm familiar with this company. Traded this one 100 times. It feels like. Only in 400 shares because I'm trying to going on to my little rant earlier this morning. Surprisingly, the time I picked the live stream is my least profitable time, 7 to 9:30. Still green. Luckily, all time of the day that I trade, I'm green now, but this one is farthest from the cleanest green. Because of these spikes get me sometimes. I'll get in too early, too quick. So I'm only in 400 shares right now. And of course, the ones I do enter light play out exactly how I want them to, but that's how it works sometimes. If I went heavy, it would have kept going. PHIO pharmaceutical shares are trading higher after the company announced pathologically results from the third cohort in its skin cancer clinical trial. So these biopharmaceutical news, like they're hard to predict. That's that's not much, you know what I mean? But it could still rage. So I'm up over $100 on it. I'm going to probably just take my profit at just made 150 on it. So I just went ahead and took my profit. Now I kind of have a range to work with though, so I know that I will re-enter if it wants to get up to these. What is this? 267. Dang, it's still falling, but there's still a good chance it might recover and pop. But made about 150 bucks on that move on 400 shares. Really not that bad because I didn't even have a grand in that position, I don't think. But now we have range. So if it pops up to it looks like the high was 267. If it gets to the 260 range again, I will look to re-enter since we kind of have the defined range for now. So I'll enter 500 shares at 259. Actually, that's too low. I'm gonna do 264. There we go. And I do it right before the high because sometimes you'll notice they don't make it to the high. They fail before it gets there. This one might not recover. It's still going down. Should have held on to it, honestly. Ooh, it just broke below 2. This one might die off. So weird though. Some of these news, like you'll see, what was it yesterday? KTTA had very similar news, and then it raged yesterday. These pharmaceutical or the biotech companies, it's kind of hard to predict their moves. That's why I don't try to predict the moves. I just play the levels and play the pattern I'm used to. So TOVX isn't wanting to give up yet. NCEW, if it starts trying to like make a level right here, I'll take profit. I'm up $441 on just 200 shares. Really wish I wouldn't have closed out those positions right here. Could have called it a day if I didn't, but I like to secure profit, especially when I get in heavy. This one I was a little in, I like trying to be transparent with y'all. I got in a little heavier than I wanted. Nothing crazy though. Like it was only 1,200 shares. So, but again, on these pops, I'm trying to go a little bit lighter because the data was pointing to I get in a little too early, too quick on the ones that don't go my way. So I took most of the profit early, but I'll probably, here at the $3, I'll probably go ahead and close this one out. Because sometimes they try to bounce at these key levels. So when I say key levels is like solid numbers, $3, $2, $1. So I'm out of it now. It says I'm still in 100. There you go. So I'm out of this one. And for anybody that just now tuning in, the main play I'm watching right now is TOVX. If it closes below VWAP, the 5-minute candle, I might consider adding to the position. My average is 245. I have a really hard time adding to my position when my average is higher than it. So for example, if my average was like $2, I wouldn't mind adding at 230, 227, whatever. But when my average is higher than the VWAP, it's really hard for me to like lower my average. I think it's like a mental thing, but it probably won't be a bad entry. The only thing that makes me nervous is right now nothing else is really moving to the extent that TOVX is. So it's basically the top gainer on the day right now. I wish something else would steal the attention away from this one. Then I'd feel even more comfortable adding to it. But as of right now, it's the top gainer, up 70%. And 70% is not a lot. This one might have more to run. What do you mean it left without you, Alex? Am I late? Or are you talking about PHIO? Wow, look, it gave it all back. Yeah, I jumped out a little early, but that's okay. ZVSA is moving. ZVSA. It is moving. And TradeZero's let me short below $1 now. They never allowed that previously. So I'm in it.
ZVSA.
And I got an entry at basically 90 cents. And then I'll do another entry at 99 cents. Because that dollar is a key level that's hard for them to break sometimes, or very often. You'll see it
NCEW.
You'll see it wick above it. You're hearing my alerts go off because at 8 o'clock, for whatever
PHIO.
reason, it just starts pumping out all the alerts from earlier in the day. Not really sure why it does that. So 1,000 shares of very small position. This will give me time to look up to see why it's popping. And again, you'll see, like I do some of my data after I enter. I'm very familiar with a lot of these tickers. I have traded these tickers because they all do the same thing. They all, as you can see, the reason why I'm zooming out is they just dive. That's all they do over time. They just dive down. They get below $1. There's some BS press release news that gets them pumping again. Then they dilute their shareholders. So very familiar with this ticker, ZVSA. So I'm assuming this is a biotech company too. They released some news that's underwhelming. Zyversa announced release of inflammasome inhibitor in combination with GLP-1 agonist to address unmet medical needs of people living with obesity. Oh, so this is like a Ozempic type of play or whatever. And the reason why I laugh is because that's been a theme where people have been, or companies have been posting how they have like the next Ozempic or whatever. Because the PRs will try to say things that's appealing to investors. So it's very typical. I'm out of this position now. If it, but again, now I have the range because it's only up. It's only up about 45% now. So now we have the range. I'm gonna enter 1,000 shares if it tries to break through $1. If not, I'll forget about it. So you got to treat these tickers. Can't fall in love with them. Short them. Or this is what I do. I'm not telling you what to do. What I do, short them, make the money, forget about them. Too many people fall in love with tickers. Especially small caps. Small caps are toxic. They will break your heart quickly. So I'm gonna read the comments. So yeah, the HIMS ETF went crazy with the Ozempic type news last week. Yeah. TOVX daily chart looks kind of bullish. That's hard to believe. Let's see. Oh, you're talking about the one today? Yeah, I mean, it does. I mean, it's definitely trending up. And this might be the runner for the day for sure. Again, if there's nothing else that pops that steals the attention away from TOVX, this might be the runner for the day. Hence why I'm only in 500 shares too. I'm not completely confident this one's going to dive down. It's, to your point, it's holding well above VWAP. It's got a nice trend up. The only thing is it's making lower highs, but it takes one beautiful green candle to change that. So yeah, it's looking a little bullish, but I wouldn't consider it bullish until it breaks a new high and hold. But to your point, it doesn't look like it's about to fall off a cliff either. So this is the only play I'm in right now, I believe. Oh, I'm in FRGT. How did I get back in this one? I'm a little confused, to be honest. I thought I took all my profit on this one. That's just me being ignorant, I guess. I thought I closed them all out. I'm going to close it out right here, though. Okay, so now the only position I'm in is TOVX. So it's been a good morning for me so far. How about y'all? Catch any plays? AB on the daily, it has had a huge down move and now gapped up over the 200 for the first time and seems to hold it pretty well. But I don't know if that means much for these type of companies. Not sure why Weeble's not showing this. Is it not showing after hours? Let's see. I see what you're saying. So and it has a previous high of 264. You can see this 264 might be a level, um, because it had this down wick around this level, and then in October it pumped to this 264. So that might be something that we should watch. Is this when it falls below VWAP and holds? Again, I don't think I'll be adding on here, because as of now, this is still the top gainer. I think it could gain momentum. By most of my standards, I should enter here, but again, this is the only thing really moving above $1. Oh, NCEW? Is it popping again, or is my TradeZero going? My TradeZero says it's at $6, right?
NCEW.
NCEW, yeah, see? Even my alert, my trade ideas thought it was up. I just got an alert. That's weird. I got excited. It's showing it's at $7 right now, but it's clearly not. So ZVSA said it's not done. It wants to come back and play some more. So if it gets up to 99 cents, might actually, I'm gonna enter some more ZVSA here. If it holds over 90 and I can get my short quick enough, I'm gonna add some here at 90 cents. Only added 400 shares for fun, so I think it could fail here, and I'll add 1,000 more shares at 99 cents. But the main one I'm paying attention to is TOVX. And I'm sure you see me enter
NCEW.
quite a bit of trades. I know most people are the narrative of less trades. So it says NCEW is raging again. That's so weird. But anyways, you probably noticed I enter a lot of trades. That's what I'm comfortable doing. I know a lot of people teach only enter the perfect setup, and I think they're right. I think that's a good narrative to have, but I like to enter. I don't like to go too heavy in any plays, but enter small positions in the plays I am confident about. But this one is more just so I can keep track of it, keep an eye on it, because this one, this $1 key level is important. If it can break through that and hold it, it could get pretty bullish. But what I'm hoping happens is it hits $1, fails.
NCEW.
But yeah, I might tend to overtrade, but it works for me. Because I don't enter positions I don't truly think are going to go down, so trying not to force the trade. You saw even with this one, this entry was very strategic, so let's keep an eye on this VWAP. And I'm debating if I want to add to it. Most of the criteria is met. Poor cash position, overrated news, I think.
NCEW.
I might need to turn off my alerts, but I can't, well, I'm not going to turn them off, but NCEW is faking it out. It does have a little spike right there, but that shouldn't have caused it. If ZVSA starts getting pretty bullish, we could see TOVX start falling a little more. If money flow starts coming to TVSA. If it holds over $1, I'll probably look to get out and wait to see what's the new level for TVSA. But I still believe it's going to have a hard time getting over $1.
NCEW.
It's looking like it's wanting to fail that 90 level. Anybody going to enter if it breaks VWAP?
NCEW.
Katie, are you talking about you're already in? Oh yeah, TOVX. Good. Cool.
NCEW.
I'm gonna see if I can figure out how to mute it from doing that play. No, I can't really figure it out. Might have to live with it. Got it. So AB, you re-entered. Yeah, it's probably not a bad entry. So I'm at 1950 on the day. $50 from 2K. Kind of been like, it's weird. In January, I was having like 5, 6, 7K days often, and I just felt like there was so much more opportunity. But January was my best month, but I've kind of been stuck in that like 2 to 4K range. But for actually Friday, was it Friday? Made 5K, but it's mostly been, and I don't know if it's a mental thing. Once I make over 2K, I kind of go risk off. but that's kind of been the range I've been in. And since I've been going live, I try to like dial in my risk tolerance, which is a good thing. That's one of the reasons why I do live too, is because I know what my flaws are. Sometimes I let them run a little too much. And when I do live, it holds me a little bit more accountable so I don't look like a clown. Yeah, TOVX, it could melt down. Um, yeah, Alex, I was doing the five, and again, you brought up the Kimfo stuff. End of this week, um, more than likely we'll reconnect. But yes, I was doing about the same size positions, but there were so many more plays. That's the thing. Is because again, that's kind of been my strategy. I don't enter too heavy on one play to prevent if it just goes bananas, doesn't blow me up. There's a lot of things that meet my criteria. As you see, you've already seen today, me enter. I mean, I'm shooting 100% for the day. Entered probably how many plays so far? Let's see how many closed. Like, I mean, look at all the tickers I played. 100% on the day with all positions, but it's I just enter. I don't like entering too heavy with any position unless I have a lot of conviction. Like KIDZ last week, if y'all were on live stream, y'all probably saw I had like a 16, 17K position on that one. And I ended up pulling what, about 2K on that position. So the ones that I'm very confident, I will go heavy, but I like keeping my positions in my little comfort zone around $1,000 to about 5K, my position size. And I like entering a lot of positions that meet my criteria. And to your point, Alex, in January, everything was popping. Like in pre-market, it was not uncommon to see like 5 or 6 plays over 100% gains. Like right now, if you look at the top gainers, the top gainer is TOVX at 65%. And in January, some of the days, I'm not exaggerating, there were like 5 or 6 tickers above 100%. And then intraday, they would pop and then die. So long story short, there were a lot more opportunities for entries, but that's how small cap trading is. It's either hot, then it's cold. I wouldn't say it's cold right now, but it's not the same as it was in January. So that's one of the things you got to do as a trader too, adjust your strategy with what the market conditions give you. So I hope that makes sense. There were just more opportunities. I was entering the same size because I keep my account small. You see, and again, smallish. Like I only have a 47K account right now because I'm constantly withdrawing because I have an entity as an S corp. I have to pay myself a payroll. Long story, not gonna go into it. Something I am gonna go over in the circle group soon though, and why I do that for tax purposes. But the point is, like, yeah, that's a solid size account, but compared to most traders, like I've followed in the past, like some people have like 6-figure accounts, 7-figure accounts. This one guy I followed, he shorts Alex. I can't think of his last name. Like he screen shared, and he had like a 500K account that he traded with, and like day trading with, and I keep mine relatively small. Once it gets over 50K, I start taking withdrawals out. That's kind of my safety net too, because I don't want to. Again, I have risk management techniques now to prevent this from happening, but I just never want to like wipe out a whole account that's an excessive size. So TOVX looks like it's wanting to give back its gains. ZVSA, I might, since this is where it popped last time and bounced, I'm probably just going to take profits on this. No, it's only 50 bucks, but like I said, this was a small position. I just wanted to keep track of it. TOVX given the gains back. So again, like I was saying, that VWAP fail probably wasn't a bad entry. I probably should have added to it. And just so y'all know, this is far from over. If this is the only thing moving, if this is the top gainer, I was tempted to actually take profit at this wick right here, and I'm still tempted to, because I'm willing to bet it pops up again before it keeps going down. I think there will be another opportunity for me to size in. So if it gets back to $2, dang, I should have entered. Yeah, it's going to bounce back. This thing is not going to die straight down. And obviously, I can't predict the future, but I would be more surprised if it goes straight down and doesn't pop again at some point. The market will be open very soon, in an hour, and I think there will be an opportunity where it bounces. Could be wrong. And for everybody that's in this position, I hope I'm wrong. But I just took my profits right there. I'm up over 2K. I like where I'm at. I will re-enter when it bounces back to VWAP or tries to break a new high. Again, I could be wrong, could keep tanking, but unless something else pops just to take the day traders' attention, long small cap traders' attention, I still think it might be this one that rages today. When I say rage, I don't mean like break new highs, go to 10 bucks. Not that, but I think it could most definitely test VWAP again, and a good chance it could test high of days again too. But let's see. Maybe something pops soon and steals attention away. NCEW pop. Oh, nice. It is popping. Thanks for the heads up. Might not be a bad entry here at VWAP. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Good. Glad that made sense. And one, I wanted to get over 2K and take profits because it was a small position, and two, I really think there's a chance it's going to give me another opportunity to enter. But anyways, feel like I've been talking a lot. I'm gonna keep an eye on NCEW, see if it gets up to VWAP. But the rest of the plays I played today, most of them look dead. MGEL is trying to pop again. Might re-enter if it gets to VWAP, but probably not. TOVX will definitely re-enter. I might actually make the position now. So my re-entry would be about 229. But it is breaking new lows. And then I will enter again. So 400 shares at 229, 500 shares if it gets up to 285. And for all of y'all that's in it, I hope it keeps tanking. I truly do, because that would be a nice move. But I have to be honest, I think there's a chance it will at least test VWAP and potentially test pre-market highs. I would give the pre-market high test about 20 to 30% VWAP. I think it's north of 50%. There's a greater chance it tests VWAP again before it keeps diving. GPUS. Yeah, there might be a play here. I just don't know where I want to enter at. And actually right here might not be a bad level. I'm gonna look at it on my mobile. That's what I'm comfortable doing. So yeah, I think there's a play there, but it's still only up. My it's saying it's only up 30% today. I think this entry around the 620 is not bad. And that's where it got to, and it looks like it's coming down now. Yeah, I agree. There's a play. There's a play here. I don't know if I'm going to take it, but there's a play here for sure. I will, since I'm having my, since I'm up 2K today already. Um, I'm probably going to be a little more strategic about my entries. I will enter this one if it goes a little higher, but not trying to discourage anyone or encourage anyone to take this play, but I might sit on the sidelines on this one. But the beautiful thing about this is it has a lot more to give back, because Monday, it was trading for $1.50. Only thing that makes me nervous about this one, it still has a lot of range. If it gets up here in the $8, $9 range, I am very interested. But right here, just casually interested. Very casually. Anyways, unless y'all have questions, I'm gonna quit talking so much. And I'm gonna keep an eye on TO. It's breaking new lows. Hope y'all are making some money. But I'm gonna keep an eye on TOVX mostly. And if y'all see anything, let me know. If I see anything, if I get another alert, I will let y'all know. But as of right now, just gonna keep an eye on this one. See what happens.
Assistant.
As soon as I said that.
MYND.
Oh, ASST up 70%. Let me look at that one. This might could, let's see. Oh, wow. Let's see what's going on here. I'm looking at ASST. It looks kind of interesting to me. I'm in it. I'm in it. ASST. I'm in 1,300 shares currently.
MYND.
MYND is also raging right now. I don't have enough eyes to watch all these. MYND.
Assistant.
Oh wow, yeah, this one's raging too. I'm probably gonna leave this one alone because I'm already in this one. If y'all want to do some research in the background to see which one's most appealing, feel free to. From a finance cash position. Dang, MYND gave it, entered the wrong one. MYND already gave it all back. But I'm not in very heavy here, so all good. This might pull tension away from TOVX, so let's see. Yeah, this one's looking pretty bullish.
Assistant.
So I'm going to be very strategic with my entries at this point because I don't want to get in a large position too early. So I'm going to enter more shares at $1.45 and $1.95. I'm going to go a little bit heavier. Got some excitement. This is what I mean by you'll see me let them run probably more than most people. So I'm down 400 in this position now. But I'm okay with that. And I'll be looking this one up on Dilution Tracker. No institutional ownership. Roughly an $18 million market cap. $10 million float. It's moving pretty sporadic for moving like it has less than that. Looks like the company has about 11 months of cash left with a quarterly burn of 1.23 million. Estimated current cash of 4.5 million. They don't have much cash, but they don't burn much. Oh man, I gotta get my phone charger. I'll be right back. Apparently my phone didn't charge last night. Not sure what happened there. But anyways, keeping an eye on ASST. TOVX looks like it might keep going down, especially if there's some more distractions now. Good. Glad you made good money so far, Alex. I probably should have stayed away from this one, honestly. But let me see what the news is. Trading higher after the company announced it entered into a merger agreement. Oh, I'm probably going to get out of this one soon. It's a crypto play, crypto affiliation play. Crap. That's kind of been a theme here recently.
Assistant.
I'm going to get out. I'm going to end up taking a bigger loss than I should, but I'm going to get out of this one. Yeah, I've just been trying to stay away from these plays. Dang, it's a pretty good loss too. That's all right. That's part of it. These crypto affiliation plays have been just insane lately. Watch it tank now. I'm gonna cry if it tanks. So this one might have legs because you saw the Solana. There's been a few plays that's been so they're going to start stacking Solana and crap like that. Those plays have been like raging. You know what? Just in case it does, I'm just going to have I'm so tempted to enter this thing right here. Okay, I did. So I'm just going to play around with 500 shares. I'm up. I'm comfortable where I'm at. I got 500 shares at 144, but there is a chance this thing could stay bullish. That's why I'm only. So basically, what I really achieved through all that was closed out 1,000 shares because I was in 1,500. So I'm gonna ride out these 500, see what happens. But I have been trying to stay away from these that's affiliated with crypto or Solana treasuries or whatever because for whatever reason they have been pumping more than I think they should. So basically trim down my position is all I accomplished right there. I picked the wrong one out of those two alerts. That's all right. And then I will enter 500 more shares if it gets up to 195. It's looking like it's having a hard time getting over $1.50, but that could change. So what was it? JNVR, GPIX, a few other ones that said they were like doing their Solana treasury or whatever. Those plays took off, so that's why I'm a little cautious with it. Y'all know me, if y'all have seen me trade before, I don't stop out very easy. There's got to be a good reason to, but I made a deal with myself. I said if it's crypto related, if I enter, I have to be very, very small entries or to avoid outright. So TOVX, kind of hanging around this $2 level. So I'm up only about 14, almost $1,500 now. Took a bigger loss on ASST than I wanted, but I'm actually proud of myself for just getting out because, again, sometimes I let them run too much. But with this one being crypto related, I don't want too heavy of a position in it. And for y'all that don't know, man, I entered the wrong one of those two spikes. Jeez. This one gave it all back. But that's all right. So UPXI was one that said that they were doing a treasury with crypto, Solana specifically. And this is what it did in one day. This was one session. 220 to 22 bucks. Like insane move. We shorted, or I shouldn't say we, I shorted this retest. This is a perfect example of a retest. So fell down, then ramped back up, retested, great entry there. Because I lost money on this move. Obviously, I didn't hold on the whole move, but I did lose some money on the initial move. Made some of it back on this retest about, what, a week later, roughly, or the end of the week. And then JMVR was another one that was crypto recently that said they were doing a crypto treasury. JVNR, maybe well, I can't remember what the ticker was, but long story short, there's been a few of these tickers that's been raging with the crypto affiliation. So I'm just going to play this one cautious. A very large wick on 170. Sorry, I'm looking at it on my mobile first. Yeah, you're right. So let me pull it up year to date. I think it was this one, right? Nope, it's this one. So this 170, no, that's a good point. It might try to test that from earlier this year. Is this 1 minute? Yeah. 5 minute. I mostly trade on 5 minute. So yeah, we'll keep an eye on this one too. And TOVX, all of y'all that are still in that one, congrats. It might make it down to the 200. Again, this was kind of like a best case scenario though, because something else is getting attention now. It's already gotten almost 7 million shares traded. So congrats. It'll steal some attention away from this, especially with it being crypto affiliated. So if this tests VWAP, I might enter heavier because I don't think this will be the runner for today. I think ASST has a better chance. But who knows? Let's see. A little disappointed I fell below 2K, but that's part of it. It's early. I'll get that back. Or maybe I don't, and that's okay too. I'm not going to force anything, that's for sure, but intraday usually presents a lot of good opportunities, especially the first hour. Testing pre-market highs, there's still a good chance. Like I was saying, this tries to test highs. I don't think FRGT or MEGL will, but they could. Is that how you do it, or is it MEGL? As you can see, guys, I struggle with this, which Yeah, I don't think this will either, but there's a chance. And there's still 45 minutes till the market opens, so there's a lot that can happen. And I hope that a lot is not ASST running, but let's see. Congrats for everybody that's still in this one, though.
Assistant.
Uh-oh, see, this thing could get bullish. So I'm going to play it up to, again, I like to let them run some. So I'm going to play this one to $2. If it breaks $2, I am out. I am gone. These crypto affiliation plays seem to be hot. And that's just something to pay attention to as a trader if there's themes. To try to avoid those tickers. In crypto, Solana treasuries, all that have been pretty hot. Even this FRGT, the reason it originally popped was I think they were forming a treasury with Trump coins or something. As you can see, it had a crazy pop. Didn't hold it. Most of the ones that says that they're doing the crypto treasury, they sustain it. I don't know if this was because it was Trump coins and not a stable or a more stable coin like Solana. But the ones that mention Solana, they've been holding their gains. Like they don't give it back, which is rare for these small caps. They usually always give it back. I'm probably gonna keep the chart on this one mostly because this is the one I'm in. I'll keep peeking at TOBX, but I'm gonna keep an eye on ASST because this could be the exciting play of the day. Yeah, if I was one of these small cap companies and I wanted my stock to pump right now, I would say I had a crypto treasury because the longs have been perceiving that news very positively, especially in combination of days that crypto is pumping. Is it pumping today? Let me see. Yeah, crypto's having a pretty good day today, so that's not a good sign either. Bitcoin's up 3%, Ethereum up 3%. A lot of the altcoins are up 3 to 4%, so it could run. Yeah, exactly. Crypto AI weight loss. AI has lost a little bit of its I mean, don't get me wrong, AI can still make some of these tickers pop, no doubt, but last year if you mentioned AI, it could be like a random, it could be like a food company like that, and they mentioned AI software and then it would just rage 100, 200 plus percent. They were intentionally dropping that AI in the press releases so that their stocks would pump. Katie said it. AI chicken nuggets. Yeah, basically, they were just dropping it with everything. Breaking new highs. This one looks very bullish. TOVX shorters. You should be thankful for this ASST press release. I think this is going to get all the attention. Anyways, I'm gonna keep an eye on this. I'm probably gonna mute for now. If another alert comes out, I'll let you know. If not, and I hope it does, still attention from ASST, but as of right now, my eyes are going to just be on this play. I'm in small, 500 shares. Entry at 195 for 500. If it breaks 2, I'm out. That's my game plan. Alex, I don't know if you're still on, but you might be right about that 170 level from January. Let's see if it can break through it. Since this is crypto, I'm not going to add here, but if it wasn't, it might be a entry. But let's see if you called that right. It might struggle to break through 170 because that was a high from I think January or something. TOVX, as we can see, a little bit of green candles here. If it tests this VWAP, I'll be re-entering. But still has a long way to go before it does that. ASST still grinding up. Looking pretty bullish. Oh, that's a good point. That's a very good point. It probably will have some tight halt bands if it when it opens. Especially if it was trading in this range. I don't know if I like that or don't like it. It makes the day a little more chaotic, but it also kills momentum in a way. So I don't know if that's a pro or a con, to be honest. If it goes against you, it's a con, but it almost like capped FOXO. And I should talk about it. There's like 12 of y'all on. Instead of just being silent, I'll go over some of the plays from yesterday. So FOXO had the whole crew sweating yesterday. A lot of us were in this one. I didn't stream on YouTube yesterday. That was for the Circle group exclusively for Tuesdays and Thursdays, which is free, by the way. And as you can see, it was trading in the like 60. Sorry, I got the sun on the screen. I got to put up some blinds in here. Around this time, it's kind of hard to see the screen. But it was trading around the 60% or 60 cent range and raged up all the way to 220. I wish I still had the arrows from yesterday when I entered because I did not play this one perfectly. But that's the beautiful thing about shorting is there's some forgiveness. Even if you don't enter perfectly, that's why I like shorting. I think the learning curve is less steep. Obviously, the downside of shorting is the quote unquote unlimited losses if you're just completely reckless. But I really like shorting because I entered way too early here. I did average up some, but not much. But anyways, when market opened, it halted down twice. And one of the things I like to play is when it tests the pre-market highs. And as you can see, around 11:30 it did. It actually halted up, but it could not hold over the pre-market high. As you can see, the candle closed below the pre-market high. I didn't stop out. A lot of people would have stopped out on this candle right here, and they would have lost money, and look what it ended up doing. And again, that's my risk tolerance. I'm comfortable letting stocks play a little. That's how I made hundreds of thousands of dollars last year. I'm not changing that until I have a good reason to, because I got tired of getting stopped out and then it immediately dying down. And that's exactly what this one did. So I wait for the 5-minute candle to close over the pre-market high. The reason I do that is because I think there's some manipulation in the market. If you don't think there's manipulation in the market, that's a very bold stance, because I think a lot of times they'll try to take out some of these stop losses. And as soon as they take out these stop losses, it falls right back down. So re-entered here, wrote it down, and I closed most of my position in after hours. I would love to say I held it all the way to $1. I didn't. I closed most of it around, I think, 150, because I didn't want an after hours pop. Should have held, left a lot of money on the table, but it still was a very profitable trade. Ended the day yesterday around 2,300, which, again, I'm trying to say this where it doesn't sound like pretentious or anything, but that's not really that great of a day. 2K is kind of like, is what I like to make, kind of the minimum amount I like to make a day. So a solid day overall, I guess, for terrible entries. But that's the great thing I love about shorting, is most of these stocks end up dying. So it did yesterday. A lot of people in the group had way better averages than me, played it better than I did. And then KTTA, this is the one that honestly saved me yesterday. Again, one of the reasons I love shorting is because this one, same thing, didn't get the best average. I did trim some of my position here, and once it broke the pre-market high, because it did close a candle above. So I did decide to trim some of my position, and then when it came back down below VWAP, they dropped offering news, and man, did we bank on that move. A lot of the group was in this position as well. Some of us stopped out and trimmed our position here, which was the smart thing to do. I regret doing it now, but it was a smart thing to do. But then when it fell below VWAP, the offering news, I mean, it never recovered. And just think, there were longs in this play right here. They lost their shirt on this move, which is unfortunate. I honestly hate that for them, but I love that for us. For shorting, we definitely got bailed out, because the problem yesterday was every time KTTA went up, FOXO went down. And then when FOXO would go up, KTT would it was always inverse. So when I was up in one, I was down in the other. And then once this dove and died, it did cause FOXO to pump to test the pre-market high. It was around this time, like I was saying, around 11:30. Because see, this move happened at 11:10 to like 11:30. I think that's when FOXO kind of pumped up. Yeah, see, right during this time. So it was almost like this inverse effect with those two. But it eventually gave back all of its gains. And that goes back to my theory that someone brought up yesterday. If one stock is pumping, it will steal attention away from other stocks. That's what you're seeing with TOVX. I think that's why it kept going down. And if this stays bullish, TOVX is less likely to rage today or to pump. If ASST stays bullish, TOVX will probably not test highs. If ASST tanks here, I think TOVX will try to test pre-market highs again. So It's looking like it's going to try to test VWAP, and I'm going to try to get an entry here. I might add more than 400, to be honest. I'm going to make this one 500. Just add a little bit more to it. If it wants to test the VWAP again. But yeah, so that was the two main plays yesterday. Got bailed out on KTTA because I didn't have the best entry on this one either. But we were rewarded yesterday. Nestor, what do you usually consider, oh, sorry, when do you usually consider the loss and cover? So if there's a part of my trading that's probably the most controversial, it is that I do like to let stocks play a little bit, but if it's a momentum play like this one, if it breaks a new high and it holds over it, I will at least trim my position, potentially get completely out of it. When it's a pump like this and I don't know where the high is, I will look at previous levels. I will look at how much I want to lose for the day. I will look at things like that and decide depending on how my day is. So for example, $2 is the max I'm going to lose today on this one. And the reason why that is because it's clearly bullish and it's breaking new highs as we speak. I don't want to drop under a grand.
Assistant.
Wow, that's popping. I don't want to drop under a grand going into intraday. So that's why I'm picking 2, and it's affiliated with crypto. And we saw from previous crypto plays like UPXI, like it went from, sorry, like I said, I trade mobile. I'm not good at the desktop. It went from $2 to $22. So this could happen with this ticker right here. So do I think it's going to go to $20? No, I don't. But would I be surprised if it went to $20? No, I would not. So that's why that's kind of why I'm picking that $2 level. When you try to short the initial pops, you're just going to have to pick a level that you're comfortable with. Again, not financial advice. I'm talking about what I do. This is for educational purposes. I shouldn't say you, but what I do is I pick a level like 2, a psychological level that's hard to break. $2 will be hard for this stock to break, potentially, unless it just busts through it. And that's where my level is. If it gets above $2, I'm cutting it because it could go to $20. It could go to $100. I don't know. These crypto treasury affiliation news, it's very bullish right now. It's a theme that I'm seeing. So that's my thought process on it. So if this gets above $2, 5-minute candle closes above it, I'm out of it. Moving on. Might play it again later. If it drops to $1.50 and then tries to, let's just say it goes to $2.50, it drops all the way back down to $1.75, and then it tries to test $2.50 again, I might enter at that $2.50 level since I know where the high of the day is. And again, it goes back to my earlier conversation. As I mature as a trader, I'm trading a lot less of these pops. And as you can see today, that's why I have a loss. I'm starting to realize that playing some of these pops from 7 to 9:30 has contributed to a decent amount of my losses. Most of my wins come from 4 to 7 intraday and after hours. So as you know, as I continue to live stream, I might adjust when I live stream. I might sit out 7 to 9:30. I might play less the pops. You know, it's something I'm deciding as a trader, but these pops are a little bit harder to gauge. It's weird because I make a lot of money from 7 to 9:30, but that's also when I take, that's honestly about the only time I take losses. My entries from 7 to 9:30 is about the only time I take losses. So I'm going to analyze some data here shortly, decide if, you know, what's the best move from 7 to 9:30, because these these pump based on PRs, and they can sustain their gains more based on press releases. Where from 4 a.m. to 6:59, it's usually they pump for no reason and they can't hold the gains. So those usually give back a lot quicker. But I wouldn't be surprised if this one gets to 2. I'm hoping it gets to 2, fell, and then fades the rest of the day. Am I confident that's going to happen? Nope, I'm not. So that's why I'm going to stop out if it gets above 2. TOVX looks like it was going to test VWAP. I don't know if because this one's getting bullish, attention's getting pulled away from it again, but obviously most of the eyes are on ASST right now. And let's see how many shares have been traded of it. I guarantee it's probably 10 million plus at this point. Probably closer to 15, 20. Let's see. Oh, 53. So yeah, this one's getting 53 million shares have already been traded at this. So it's definitely getting the money flow, which is another sign it could get bullish. Looking like it'll test $2 soon. But you see why I trim most of my position at $1.45. I hate taking losses, but I'm glad I did it because once I saw that it was crypto related, that's the current theme. So it's 9:15. We're getting close to market open. So for the circle group, I'll work on our morning watch list. It's mostly going to consist of ASST, TOVX, maybe MEGL. I don't see it getting bullish again. I mean, it could, but I'm not like that confident in it. Might could see it test $2, but to test the pre-market high of 249, I think that's a stretch. I think most of the momentum has been lost with this one. I do want to see a big red candle like this, but I want it to hit 195 first. Help my average. But yeah, I think ASST, I would be nervous to be heavy in this one right now. And it could tank. It could completely tank at pre-market, or I mean at market open. There is a good chance that will happen actually. But there's also a very good chance that this pumps all day. And I don't want to be affiliated with that. It's already wrecked my P&L this morning. I don't want it to wreck it anymore. Not seeing really anything else that I'm going to add to the watch list. Nothing else is too enticing. Mostly just MEGL, TOVX, and ASST. I'm probably going to just let everyone know I'm avoiding this one for the most part. Oh my gosh, did they just drop an offering? Yeah, look at this. If y'all are still in it, y'all are crank. Look at this. Please tell me some of y'all are still in this. Dang, I wish I would have held on to it. Did they drop an offering? This looks like an offering candle. Man,
OSTX.
I wish I didn't stay. I wish I wouldn't have took profits on this one. Yeah, same. I was hoping for a retest too. Any of y'all made money on this one? Wow. I entered here, took profit here because I thought it would retest, and it looked like it was trying to do that, but man, oh, that hurts not being in that one. Honestly, I think that gives more momentum for ASST because what's even competing with it at the moment now? If you look at the top gainers, it's up 196, 200% right now. The next closest is NCEW at 50%. So eyes are on this one. I think it's reckless as a long to enter something that's up 200%, but apparently I'm not the only one that thinks that way because this will get a lot of buys here shortly. It'll get a lot of attention, so let's see. Somebody from the chat, tell me y'all were in this. Yesterday we killed it with KTTA and Fox, so I know one of y'all had to still be holding this. Oh, weren't you in it? Was it Katie? Didn't you say you were in it? Or was that a different one? Oh, nice, Steven. You were in it. Let's go. 700 shares. That's still not bad. That's not a bad size, but yeah, smaller. But hey, I bet you still made some money on it. Nice, Katie. Closed out at $1.50. That was right there at the 200, wasn't it? Yeah, nice. Good job. Well, I'm glad a couple of y'all were still in it. Took profits too early. A little over 500. Let's go, Steven. That's nice. So all eyes on ASST going into market open. I'm basically going to mute for the next couple minutes so I can send out the watch list, and unless there's an alert, I'll see y'all at a few minutes before 9:30. We'll keep an eye on ASST. I think there might be fireworks with this one. Okay, so this is currently what I'm looking at. Um, ASST, avoiding for the most part. QVX, it died. MEGL, I'll look to re-enter at the $2 level, and if it wants to make its way up here, you can see I clearly have some sell orders here. They're small. I'll probably adjust that, make these a little bit heavier. Those are from earlier. And also GPUS. I know some of y'all in the chat brought this one up. I went ahead and added it to my watch list because I am interested in this one, but I want to at least see it get up to about the $7 range before I'm considering shorting this one. So that's where I'm at. The market will be opening in less than a minute. Let's have some fun. And most importantly, make some money. Went ahead and grabbed some locates for GPUS just in case. I would honestly be shocked if if ASST doesn't try to make a new high, but I would not be sad if it tanks either. MEGL, not doing much.
NCEW.
NCEW, I don't know if this is a fake alert. NCEW. Where is it actually popping again? Oh, it is. It is popping. So I entered 200 shares on this pop, and then we'll enter another 300 shares at 398. ASST, what is it doing? Hasn't really decided what it wants to do yet. Dang, barely missed my 300 shares. So the only thing I'm in right now is NCEW with a very tiny position and ASST. I'll be, again, very surprised if this doesn't break a new high or at least test 190, because nothing else is really looking super bullish right now. NCEW, I'm up 50 bucks on this one because I'm only got 200 shares. I wanted it to hit that. I wanted it at least test $4, but whatever. Here it goes, ASST. Probably halt it up. So let's see where this one opens. Halted right at pre-market highs. It could pull a Foxo where it halts above 2 and then just dives down. That's what I hope happens. That's like best case scenario for me and for my situation. I would be able to fill my 195 and then it tanks down. But again, I would not be surprised if this stays bullish all day because nothing else is running right now. MEGL is getting a little bit of a pop, but I mean, it has to move substantially before I'm interested. So eyes on ASST when it unhalts. Man, I wish I could have got a bigger fill on this one, but that's all right. That's okay. Probably made the most money on this play today, NCEW from earlier. This is the beauty of catching pops like this, and then this is the downside. They stay bullish, and it's affiliated with crypto. So win some, lose some. Close out at NCEW. I was up 90 bucks, so I'll re-enter if it tests the VWAP. Then TOVX is at 94 cents. Wow. I got my finger on the market order for ASST, just in case I need to pull the trigger. If it goes above $2, I'm just not even gonna play around with it. I might not even make it close. Yeah, I mean, it's gonna have to close above it, but if it like just goes to 220, 230, I gotta get out of there ASAP. I'm not gonna let it ruin my day. But what I hope happens, hits 2, halts down. Well, it looks like it's going to halt down, but man, I really wish it would have hit 195 because my average is still crap. Okay, well, that's good. Let's look. It's early, but it's looking like it'll open around $1.63, $1.64. This one is far from over. This is probably going to be similar to Floxo or FOXO yesterday. Could it just keep diving down? Of course. But it's probably going to hit VWAP, keep just bouncing around, just acting sporadic. And Focus, you were right. You called this. It's going to be halting a lot this morning. This is going to be a chaos play. GPUS looking a little bullish, breaking new highs. If it wants to get to 695, I'll enter 300 shares, and then if it gets to 8, I'll enter some more, and if it gets to 9, I'll bet the farm on it. Oh, okay. I entered my 400 shares on MEGL. I only entered 400. I should have entered heavier than that. So let's see if it gets denied at VWAP. I'll try to enter unless it fails right here. Ah, dang it. I tried to add 200 more shares to it, but let's see. At 199, am I going to get it? Yeah, I did. Okay. So I'm in 600 shares right here at this VWAP test. What I hope happens is it fails, but if it wants to keep going, I got some more entries up here as well. But I think there's a good chance it fails right here. 1, it's a psychological level, $2. 2, that's where VWAP is. So I think there's a good chance it fails right here. JPUS. Again, if it wants to get to 7, I'll enter, or 695, I'll enter. And then eyes on ASST. I mentioned in the watch list I sent out, my first entry would be at $2 for MEGL, so it's hitting that. Let's see if we make money on it. Hopefully. I'd like to get back to 2 grand on the day. Where am I at now? Well, it's not. I don't know why it's not showing, but that's all right. So 1500 realized, 1400 with the negative 100 realized in ASST. So MEGL is getting rejected, it looks like. But it's still early. Let's see what it does. MEGL Now down to 182. Nice. This is, yeah. Nice little rejection here. Probably take profits at like 160.
Assistant.
166. So ASST unhalted. I would love to see a halt down right here, but I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll bounce here. Oh, my GPUS was hit. Wow, it did make it all the way up here to $7. So that's my first entry. Was patient with it. So the next entry will be probably 8, and the last entry will be 9. So I'm in 3 positions now. GPUS, MEGL, and all of them are small. Not a lot of conviction with any of these plays. ASST halted up. We're going to see a lot of this. I'm probably going to dip out at 10 in about 15 minutes, 14 minutes. But you know what I'm looking at the rest of the day, so. Going to close out 300 shares at 173, 300 shares at 166. GPUS, keep a close eye on this one. I would love for this one to fail at this level. I'll probably just hold this one most of the day because at some point it's going to get back these gains. From Monday. So just waiting for ASST to unhalt. Waiting for MEGL to hit my profit zones. And waiting to see what GPUS does. Not completely confident it'll fail here. I think it could, but I also think it could go higher. I went ahead and got 1,000 locates, so if it gets up to 8, I'll re-enter. GPUS looks like it's falling down a little. Curious to see where ASST does, what it does after it unhalts. Here it goes. Hit my, okay, now fail. This is where I want it to fail. So it's above 2. See if it can hold. Wasn't able to get out in time, but so it's about to be 10 o'clock. My plan is basically whenever this, it looks like it's going to open around 210. See where it opens. If it opens above 207 and maintains, I'm actually kind of glad it didn't get filled because there's a good chance it could halt down right here, but definitely going to be very careful with this position. MEGL up about $100 on it. GPUS still kind of bouncing around that level. So again, I don't know if I will, I'm probably going to end the live stream here shortly at 10, but the plan with ASST is to see what move it makes after this halt. Hoping it dives down. If it turns green, I'm not going to wait for it to close above 2. I'm just going to get out. It's obviously showing bullish signs right now. So the only way I'm going to stay in it at this point is if it halts down red. If not, I will look to get out, limit my losses on this one, It's already done enough damage today, but still up about 1300. 15 realized. I think MEGL will play out in my favor, and it's already kind of doing that some. GPUS, think it will as well. Got beat up a little by ASST, but that's part of the game. But yeah, that's it. Unless y'all have any questions, I will probably be bouncing here in the next minute or so. But outside of that, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank all y'all for who liked the stream today. Subscribe if you're not. And I will see y'all Friday. Tomorrow I'll be live streaming in the Circle group exclusively. And then Friday I'll be back on YouTube. But anyways, it hit one of my profit zones on MEGL. So it was about a cent away from hitting my other one, 166, but it'll hit that shortly, I believe. GPUS breaking 7, so now I'll be looking for an entry around $8. But anyways, that's it for today. Thank y'all.